Hey, what's up this week? We've got, that doesn't look like Ari.
That is not Ari.
No.
Ari came down with the flu. So
Sorry, Ari. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
And I had to find a last second guess, and I tried to find somebody as articulate and as beautiful as Ari, and unfortunately,
Failed.
I failed
Horribly.
miserably. So I'm really kind of excited about this. I've hung out with this guy a lot, but since we started the Charity Miles team, I've gotten this question a million times. Who the heck is Matthew? Well, this is Matthew, and I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we're going to kind of go into what we do every day and how we're logging these miles, and I'll let Matt introduce himself real quick, and then we'll do a grit update, and then we'll get into the show.
Hey, so I'm Matthew. I'm in the Marine Corps, originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I go to school at KU. I'm in an enlisted to officer exchange program. Qualify for the program. The Marine Corps says, yeah, we want to make you an officer, but then they send you to college for 4 years. And then I have to give the Marine Corps like 10 more years of my life, which is okay. By the time I'm done, I'll be at 26 years. Ultimately, the goal's 30, so it's just a bump in the road. But that's where I'm at. That's how I came to Kansas. I don't have any family here, no ties, no affiliation. And just KU seemed like the right fit for my family now. So.
What do you study there?
Sports management. I'm majoring in sports management and psychology. Originally, I came as a business major, transferred 90 credits, realized I did not want to do business at all. I love sports, and I love how the human mind interacts. What better way to just throw both those together? Sports management, psychology. I'm working currently at Free State High School as the assistant to the athletic director with Amanda Fonts. And that's part of my internship as part of my degree completion program. So
That's wonderful. So how did you and Nolan meet?
Funny story. He actually met my wife first. She's the operations manager at the Genesis on 6th Street.
The gym. So
The
for people who don't know the gym.
The gym.
Yeah,
The gym. She kept telling me about this guy who comes into the gym, and she's like, he's a big dude, cardio dude, loves to work out, super into guns. Which me as a Marine, that's awesome because I'm super into guns too. Which I don't know if a lot of people in Lawrence are, but
Probably not.
maybe not. I heard there's pretty good hunting out here though.
There is
good
decent
hunting.
hunting.
Right.
Can confirm.
Yes.
It's better to hunt with a gun. So anyway, I was like, you know what? I want to meet this guy. When does he come to the gym? And she's like, well, he's an early guy, so you got to wake up. And I was like, well, all right, fine. Woke up one day, came to the gym, went to work out, and I met him, and we hit it off, and we've just been hanging out together ever since.
You were reading a Jonathan Haidt book. I swear you were reading not Outliers. It was the
No,
other
that's
one.
Malcolm Gladwell.
The Coddling of the American Mind.
Yeah. That's
Something like that.
That's his newest
Yeah.
book. It's fantastic if you haven't read it. Audio books also.
Does he read it? He reads it, right?
I believe so. He's probably one of my favorite thinkers today. Love that guy. He's at the Heterodox Academy too. Shout out to them. That's for academic types that are not interested in the status quo. It's not necessarily like everybody, like the rap that the Heterodox Academy gets is like, oh, it's just for conservative people. It's not. It's just for people that think differently. That's literally like what heterodox means. I mean, he founded that. So that's a guy that's just interested in pushing knowledge and thinking. And there's, in my opinion, not many people are interested. They're mostly interested in just patting themselves in the back and living in an echo chamber. And yeah, he's not that. He's like, no, we need to think differently. So props for reading that book. Like that's good stuff.
Thanks.
Well, he follows the general Mad Dog Mattis that if you don't read 50 books a year, you're literally.
If you ever read 100 books, you're functionally illiterate.
I agree with that.
So I'm well on my way. I'm probably 25 books down. So
this year already?
2020?
Not in 2020.
Okay.
No, not in 2020. Since coming to college, I've been trying to read a book a month. The hard part is that I have to do a lot of reading for college that I don't want to do. And it takes away from me reading books that I want to read. So, but now that I'm interning, I get to read a lot of books that I want to read. So that's the good part. So maybe 2020 will be different. Maybe I will get 25 books in this year. That's a lot. Because I need pictures and stuff like that too.
Need coloring books.
I need
adult coloring books still
Pop-ups are the best if they pop up.
I do not
That's the
think
best.
adult coloring books count. I don't know. I don't make the rules.
We need to make it count. We got to put it in the rule book.
Okay. Real quick before we get into the show, we're gonna. Here's a grid update. Chemo went over very well. No issues. I mean, it's a long week, but it went through very good. And we decided to stay home this round just because the travel is brutal. It's an 8-hour, and then we're all separate. You know, Ella will be here maybe, or at Grandma and Grandpa's, or at her dad's house, and then Laura's down there, and then I have to make a multi-trip to make it happen. So we thought it would be a wash financially. It was not. It's okay. I just, kind of want people to know. So we have good insurance through the school. And yeah, this is why St. Jude's amazing, because anything that we do at St. Jude doesn't cost us any money as far as Grit's treatment and stuff goes. They have a beautiful hotel on campus, Tri-Delta House. Shout out Tri-Delts. But it's going to cost us out of pocket about $3,000. So
for the year,
for that one treatment,
for the trip.
Oh wow!
For the 1 week long treatment at Children's Mercy.
Oh, okay.
So we made that choice for school was starting. It's very difficult for Ella's transition. I mean, she's 11 years old. She needs her mom right now more than ever because things are starting to go haywire on her body and stuff. She's hitting puberty. She's going to get mad at me and listen to this. But it's true. I mean, Dad, she is. It's true. It's part of life. She's in 5th grade. And, in 4 years, she'll be a full-fledged woman. She'll be 15, 16 years old. And regardless if she's mentally there, she will physically be there. And so I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm a freaking human growth and development teacher. I talk about this stuff to other people's kids. What kind of an a-hole would I be if I didn't talk to my kid about it? So, thanks for the suggestions, people. I coughed back there. I hear that my coughing in the mic is kind of gross. So I'm trying to be cognizant or conscientious of that. You have to tell me the right words to say, Brandon.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway.
Human the source.
Yes. So it went good, and the week went on just fine. And now we're in between. And we're getting ready to go. Next week, we will head to Memphis. On Sunday, we'll head to Memphis. I will have to come back to work, so Laura will probably be there by herself midweek. And then I will leave to Memphis right after work and pick her up, and we'll either drive back overnight or we'll wait till Saturday morning. I prefer to drive overnight. That's just me.
I'm curious about this because I've never asked you. So, what day of the week is treatment, or does it vary?
Monday through Friday.
So he goes 5 days a week,
every 3 weeks.
So typically, then Laura and Grit will drive out separately.
No, I will.
No, because all 3 of you will leave, and you'll leave Sunday morning. If everybody hears that, Grit and Ben are upstairs banging around. Yeah.
Being kids.
Being kids.
Doing kids.
Which is the best noise in the universe.
This is a family-friendly show, so we do allow kids to play.
Yes. So you guys will leave on Sunday morning, drive. It's about an 8-hour trip. Yeah. So 8-hour trip to Memphis, and then you check into the Tri-Delta House, get dinner there, and then Monday morning you wake up and it's treatment.
First thing is they take blood, they take vitals, they put in his port so we can give him the drugs. Then at St. Jude, at most hospitals, but at St. Jude, the policies they're different. They are, let's just say, Toyota makes a nice car, right? And Lexus makes an incredibly nice car. It's an incredibly nice Toyota. I'm just using this.
I get you.
So, Toyota's a good quality car. good and it'll last you forever.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want it to be a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
you get the Lexus.
Mm-hmm.
St. Jude is a Lexus,
Mm-hmm.
and all the other major children's hospitals are good quality. They're just not quite there.
Gotcha.
Boy, I hope nobody takes offense to that. but
I mean, I think most people would say that St. Jude, like it's a special place.
It's correct.
It's a special place.
Correct. Right. So Grit will have to get an NG tube put into his nose that goes to his stomach, so we can get the chemo, not for food. Now at St. Jude, the method that every nurse was ever taught, they what do they line it in, feed it through, and then they take the stethoscope and they shoot air through the NG tube to make sure it's where it is. Well, at St. Jude, they don't do that. They have to take an X-ray to make sure it's in the stomach.
Okay.
So everything has to be perfect. It takes an extra 4 to 6 hours sometimes.
Right. It's got to be more pleasant than having air shot.
And you do get to the point mentally where it's like, damn, I'd rather have my Toyota instead of waiting for the Lexus. But it's their rules. They don't bend. I mean, everything is to the T. Everyone believes in that. Those guidelines at boom, 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 boom. You don't say B before A, and it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through the alphabet correctly. So, and then he gets 4 chemos the first day, and then 4 the second day, and then 3 the next 3 days. And it takes about, once that NG tube goes in, it goes a lot faster. But that first day is brutal. And they give him a steroid that really kind of turns him into the Incredible Hulk because he's just really nuts. Hard to go down that night. That first night's pretty rough for everybody. And it'll probably be even harder. It's a little harder in Memphis just because we're all by ourselves. Right. So we can't, you don't have the space to move around. Mm-hmm. But for almost 9 months, we were on isolation, which means we couldn't even go into common areas. Which really sucked.
To be sanitary, what's sort of sterile.
Yeah, right. He had a odd bacteria on his ureterostomy, which is where he goes to the bathroom, unlike a regular person, or how the 3 of us would go to the bathroom. It just leaks right out into his diaper. And we were stuck in the hot. We couldn't go anywhere. I'd had to go get lunch and then come back. And now it's gone, and we can go into all the common areas. And so it makes life a lot easier. But it was tough. I mean, it was tough and brutal. And, for the big part of the time that my wife lived there, she had to deal with that. It just wasn't fun.
So when you have to come back, and Laura stays there with Grit, do you usually leave, say, on Tuesday or something, and drive back separately, or do you fly? How does
depends. We've been blessed. People have bought us flights or gave us miles, or I'll get a rental car. To be honest with you, there's no direct flights from Kansas City to Memphis, so you have to fly to Houston or Dallas or to Carolina or Minnesota or Atlanta. So by the time you get to the airport an hour early, and then you get to the next city, you got your hour or 2 layover, and then you got your 2-hour flight, and then you got an hour drive back to Lawrence.
About the same amount of time.
So I just drive. And I like to drive. I can listen to my podcast and, listen to whatever.
Audiobook.
Audiobook. That's where I
That's the best time to listen to your audiobook. You're calling by yourself for 8 hours.
I definitely got my 50 books the last 2 years. So it's a trip, man. And I used to hate it. I used to dread it, and I guess I still dread it. But now I've got more of the mentality. Well, if not me, then who? I can handle this. So I just kind of had a mindset change. So
there you go.
So I get with that mindset, and that mindset change as we get into this week's show. It's all accountability, and I was good at being accountable for myself, and then I got an actual human being that holds me accountable, which is Matthew, top of the leaderboard. He's at 100 miles on the Charity Miles app.
Yeah, so quick update on let's talk Charity Miles and fundraising. And
this is Ari. We're gonna try to do your job, Ari. I don't know if we can do it.
Ari gives the update. So unfortunately, I'm taking over for Ari, but I am on top of the leaderboard. I do have 100 miles. Nolan's right behind me with 74. Eli 59, Steve 56, and then Nolan Dietrich with 51, rounding out the top 5 right now. But everybody's getting it. We're up to 125 members, 1,465 total miles. So we're well on our way toward our goal, 238,855 miles to the moon. We're getting there. I did the math the other day in my head, and I was thinking, what do we got to do to make this happen? 125 people on the team. If you divide the total number by 52 weeks in a year, by 125 people, everybody needs to run roughly 6 miles a day for 52 weeks a year.
We need more people on our team.
We need to divvy this up.
We're going international. So my old roommate, Megan Hardy, she lives in she's in Austria.
Okay.
I mean, not Austria. Hungary.
Oh, okay. California.
And she's getting ready to move to. She's an international teacher.
Awesome.
She used to teach with us here, and she went to K-State. We just had a lot of comments, so we became good roommates. And she joined our team, so we've got people over in Hungary. And she's like, "Hey, can anybody join this?" I was like, "Absolutely." So she's got 13 friends at her school or in her community that do the 30K ultra races, and she's gonna add them to the.
Okay.
So we got an international team.
Yep.
I don't know where these people are from, but we should find out.
We should.
Yeah.
And at one point, we had over 60 kids from our high school on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you posed a challenge to your.
All the midshipmen in my ROTC at KU. I'm going to talk about them again right now. I'm calling you out because I only see one name on the leaderboard, Nick Hayroth, with 3 miles. That's just a PFT. We need to step it up. But yeah, I told the midshipmen, I was like, hey, I've got 45 miles on here. At the end of the semester, before everybody graduates or commissions and leaves, if you can beat me on this leaderboard, I will buy you pizza, whatever you want, wherever you want. 6-pack of beer, no big deal. Dinner's on me. But you got to beat me and you got to put in the miles. So got a lot of likes, but we'll see if they're going to actually be about it instead of just talking about it. So, but either way, I'm gonna get them on there.
A lot of paper champions out there.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of
keyboard warriors.
It's easy to hit that like button. It's much harder to get off your rear end and start moving. So
it helps when you have that accountability buddy.
Yeah.
Dragging you to the gym.
5 o'clock every morning. The first competition of the day is who gets there first.
And so you guys are intense and killing, but it doesn't even have to be that hard. Get out of bed and put this podcast on and go for a walk outside if the weather's decent. But no, you're not. You guys are getting after it.
Sure, but I mean, to think that I plan on doing it all year long. Until you leave.
I'll do it for as long as I can until I leave. I'm planning on leaving in like August or September to go to Quantico, Virginia, to the basic school. 6 months of teaching newly commissioned officers what it takes to be a Marine Corps officer, what it's like, basic infantry tactics, small unit leadership, paperwork, things like that, how to write fit reps, grade fit reps, or fitness reports for your Marines, your enlisted Marines, things like that. So I will be very busy while I'm there for 6 months. There is downtime, so I will be able to get my miles in while I'm there. I don't know if I'll be able to do any sort of marathoning while I'm there, but if I can, I'll do my best. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be running up until I can't run anymore.
Speaking of the marathons and stuff, I am officially registered.
I saw that.
Saw it.
I am officially registered.
It's
There's
happening.
no backing out. I've committed to my minimum of $7,500. If I don't raise that, then I have to pay the difference, which I don't have. But we'll raise it. I'm not really worried about that. And if you've never ran the St. Jude Marathon before, you cannot register until May. So if you want to join TeamGrit, you can get in contact with us either through our social medias at TeamGrit Podcast, TeamGrit_podcast, or you can email us at teamgritpodcast@gmail.com.
We'll put the link in the description.
Yes, for sure.
You can find it.
But like Steve Sodergren, he is running the Marine Corps Marathon in Washington, D.C. this year. So he'll have all 50 states and Washington, D.C. And he gets to raise funds for our TeamGrit for our $1 million goal. So
That's awesome.
as soon as I get all the information, I will be pumping it out through our social media campaigns. There's one guy I'm really excited about, Big Mike Evans, former security guard. Now he's a shop teacher at the Rival at the other school. Over at LHS here in Lawrence. I know people are listening all over the country and even in Hungary. But LHS is the other high school here in town, and Big Mike is a shop teacher over there. Nice guy, he weighed over 450 pounds. Big dude. He was a defensive line coach at the school, and he listened to our first podcast. And he was like, "I'm in, man. He said, there's no way I can run a marathon, and I've got a goal for a 5K this spring. But he's like, I want to do the 10K." And he said,
"You got this, Mike."
He said he'd come to Memphis.
Easy day.
Oh yeah,
Easy day. We're doing
He's posting his workouts on social media and interacting with our pages and stuff. And he's up to 2.4 miles just walking and running, and that's what it takes.
Yeah. Slap that stop sign. One more
that's
mailbox.
Right. And he's gonna do it. And,
one step at a time.
He's got little kids, and he's like, I got to do this. I got to do this for myself. Most importantly, for his family. So he's in. I think he's in, and I think he's going to become ultimately what we should all strive for is to be lifelong, worrying about lifelong health and fitness.
Yeah, it's the longevity of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long road, and now we live longer than ever, so you might as well be healthy,
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of paper champions, I always look for it. Now, I look for it on purpose on Twitter. Just y'all can't see me. I'm about to blow up. You just can't see me, people. Found some more. Just of random people, not people I know necessarily. And, someone always talking about working through it and getting through it. And you see the social media posts of them posting their Call of Duty record that they just broke, and yet we're so unhealthy. And then on Monday morning, oh yeah, I'm about to go be something. I'm gonna go be something today, baby. Blah blah blah. It's just just do it one step at a time. You don't gotta be a hero every day. Just wake up, put one foot in front of the other, get that heart rate up to 120 beats a second if that's all you can do, and finish.
I think it's tough. The way I look at this is we live in a world where everybody wants to take a diet pill. You take this pill in the morning and you lose weight by sitting on the couch and watching Oprah or something.
Right.
Like, it's not really how it works. Like,
No.
you want to lose weight, eat less, move more.
Yep.
That's it.
Right. There's
That's
nothing
the
instant about it.
Yeah, there's nothing instant. If you want to get a PhD in something, you've got to get a bachelor. Well, first of all, you got to graduate high school, and you get there's an order to things, and you have to fill out the paperwork, all the different stuff. It takes about a year. You have to take all these tests, and then you get to do it. You don't need to be a genius. It's not like people I think I brought this on my first podcast. LeBron James. I had these kids in high school when I was teaching. Oh man, he's born like that. It's just like, no, he's obviously, yes, he's physically gifted. He works harder than everybody else too.
Right.
Plus that,
Then
he gets to do this. That's it. You can't. It's like the other side of these people want the magic pill. When someone else finally achieves, they want to say that it was just given to them. It's some sort of magic or touched by God. Not really. Not really. I guarantee you, LeBron James puts up more shots than everybody else in the league. Well, or Steph Curry, whoever. Like those top level guys, that's what they're doing. Probably the same for you in the Marine Corps. Like the people that are willing to go above and beyond, they get
You get rewarded.
They get rewarded.
Yeah.
That's it.
You got to put in the work. You can't just sit around and do nothing and expect everything to be handed to you. And LeBron James is definitely a prime example of that. He is physically gifted, but he has to put in that work. As he's getting older, more players are coming in the league that are younger and almost as physically gifted. He has to outwork them. So you got to put in that work.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would argue that LeBron James is probably the best athlete. Well, maybe not anymore because he's
35, 36.
Okay.
We're about the same age.
But he, at one time when he was in his early 20s to about 31 years old, he was the best athlete. Period.
Right. Probably top 5 now.
Oh, for sure.
Still.
But he puts in the work because he just can't get by on natural talent anymore. Michael Jordan was never the best athlete. There were a lot better athletes than him.
Jerry Rice,
never,
Tom Brady.
Never.
Have you seen his combine footage? I can kick his butt in a 40 right now.
7.140.
His boobies are flopping around. Like he's not that, but he's the best quarterback that's ever done it. Jerry Rice. One of the things, my favorite story about this dude. I looked at YouTube this, so you don't believe me. He was being interviewed, and this is like when he was peak Jerry Rice, and somebody's like, hey, how are you feeling about this weekend and stuff for the big game or whatever? And he basically goes on this tirade about like, first of all, you don't believe in us. Nobody's ever believed in me. I'm going to go get, and everybody's like, Jerry, you're the best receiver that's ever played. So then he's like, no, I'm going to go out there and earn this. And you're pretending like he's the worst player in the league, but that's what his mentality is. And he goes out there and outworks everybody every sinle time.
And I do the exact same thing to
Got
myself every day. I know it's terrible, and mental health experts would call it unhealthy, but like I wake up and I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, God, you are worthless. You're
Put
terrible.
that chip on your shoulder and get out there and earn it.
And go out and get after it.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, let's take a quick break. Let's go refill our coffee and let's get back. Let's talk to Matthew some more and let's get to know you.
Talk about routines.
And routines. Let's do this.
Yes.
All right. Back in a few.
Oh,
we're back. I'm glad the mics weren't hot for that.
And on that note,
speaking of that, Lisa Boyd told me to tell you hello.
Tell her I said hello.
She misses you.
I miss her too. She was awesome to work with. Good people.
So real quick, we're going to talk about routines, and also we are recording this on National Quitters Day.
Yep.
I read an article or watched a news clip that by January 19th, most people have given up on their New Year's resolution. And my plan after this is to, when everyone says bye and Team Blake is gone, we'll go work out. Although Matthew tells me I need to take days off.
You should always take a rest day. You got to let your body recover. 8 hours of sleep at night, which I know you're not getting, is not quite enough. You got to let the body recharge, replenish itself. You got to let the muscles heal, and then go back at it. Eventually, you're just going to wear yourself down, and then you're not going to be able to perform like you want to. You're not going to see any more gains, and that could lead to injury. And ultimately, worst case scenario, that's what I don't want for you is an injury, because we're running this marathon in December.
Accountability.
Yes, you gotta be accountable to your rest days.
Yeah, you gotta take a rest day. It doesn't. You're not gonna lose anything in a day. Now, don't take a rest week.
Lose my mind.
You might lose your mind.
How do you feel about like active recovery, going for a walk or bike ride or something?
Active recovery is definitely a big thing. I think I like that a lot. Sunday is my rest day, but every once in a while we'll take the dogs for a walk. My wife and I and my daughter, and we'll go for a 2-mile walk or something. No, I'm not stepping it out. It's not a quick pace. I'm not going 4 or 5 miles an hour, but it's doing something. It's getting your mind in that, in that area of I want to do something, but at the same time I kind of need to take it easy.
Well, my plan for today was to go stretch.
Okay, that's good active recovery.
And heat up the body a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe walk a mile or two.
Okay.
Or do a 5K on the elliptical or something.
Or run a marathon, whatever.
I'm not gonna run a marathon.
You gotta. I agree. I know you want to do something, and I know that you feel compelled to want to do something, especially with the situation that we're in. But at the same time, just be mindful to take it easy and let your body.
Well, I've been listening to Constance.
Yep. Constance. We've been harping on Constance.
Constance. I don't think Constance allows me to work hard enough. but
Well,
Constance.
you're following the program. You're following the program.
Explain Constance.
Constance is my virtual 5K trainer on the app. So I was actually going to talk to you because you started running a little bit, right?
Well, I've been doing the elliptical and trying to get my cardio game up. My doctor's appointment is
This week.
next week. The 31st, last Friday, the 31st, I believe it is, and I'm assuming it's going to be good. But what I've done since the podcast started, I've been inspired. I've upped my training to 4 days a week, real heavy powerlifting, and I've enjoyed that a lot. I think I don't need any help with accountability. I show up and get after it, and I don't work out with a partner. Sometimes I wish I had somebody, but in powerlifting, I'm sure it's like running too. Like if you don't find someone that runs at your pace, like it's hard. And if I'm lifting with somebody that's way stronger or not as strong as I am, then there's so much time with the weights and moving all the stuff around. So yeah, I haven't really started running yet, but I've really upped my intensity and volume for powerlifting, and also I've picked up at least an hour or two a week of some cardio too, which a lot of powerlifters just don't do because it doesn't matter. We're not really interested in that kind of endurance. We're just picking up heavy weights.
Cardio is just lift weights faster.
Yes. Yeah, lift weights faster. That's the nice thing about powerlifting, though. You just get to eat a lot and lift a lot of weights. That's all you care about. It's like calories. Like eat pizza. Doesn't matter. Just get big and strong.
I'm still doing that. We don't
eat big.
Talk about this.
Yes, exactly.
We do lift for about at least 25 to 45 minutes after we do our miles. So. But so I guess a lot of people are wondering how I'm doing this. Well, I listen to Constance. It's the just the Couch to 5K trainer.
Okay.
And I'm starting there, and I'll be at week 4 this week. And then after the Couch to 5K, I'm going to go to 10K. And then after 10K, we'll go from 10K. I'll probably stick on 10K for a couple months and then move to half marathon after that. The goal is I might run the half marathon with Ari in
Chicago.
But that's on July 19th. My birthday is July 18th.
I think you'll be ready for that.
Yeah, I probably will be, but I don't
that.
want. I mean, what kind of an a-hole buys himself a freaking half marathon for a birthday present?
Well, when you get chip in, you want to get
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Go run.
Yeah.
That's not my version of it.
So the plan is to just lose as much weight as possible. And
You're looking good, by the way.
Thank you.
Killing it.
Work this out with Steve. Steve's been real help. And then right now we're working on having some people older people too. I don't want to mention their names too much, but we're going to have a multi-time Ironmaner who did it in his 50s and 60s.
Wow.
And then a U.S. Olympic team qualifier in the marathon. And she is in her 40s.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if we'll do this before or after, but she's running in the Olympic trials next month. So, so we've got some cool guests, and while we do want to talk about cancer and focus on cancer and how we're going to beat it, and this is our plan as a team by doing physical feats, and we're going to continue to have guests like our guest later today, Team Blake, Jacqueline Kazir and Chris Kazir, and feature more St. Jude heroes. But this is also about getting better. So we need to talk to people who are constantly getting better themselves and have been getting better themselves every day for a long time. So we're going to have those kind of guests on too. But and the goal is to basically just lose as much weight as possible, get the heart as strong as possible, heart and lungs, and then really, really hammer out the marathon training beginning August, which means probably, what's the training called? It's something, is it the Chamberlain training? Or now I feel dumb. I should know this. I should be an expert already.
For your running?
There's a system to train for a marathon.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I'm looking it up. We need Devin Googling stuff. That's what we need.
Hey, Jamie,
I need a stat guy.
Google it. Boom, 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 boom.
This is good pod right here.
Yo, keep talking. You ain't got to wait for me.
Are you running
the Galloway
also?
method?
Yeah, Galloway. Okay. Are you running the marathon also, or half or any?
I would like to run it, but I'll be in Quantico. It'll be kind of hard. It'll be in the wintertime in Quantico.
Got
It'll
it.
be snowy, 30 degrees outside. I'm not really sure if I'm not a fan of running in cold weather.
Don't you have some special like Marine military training where you're specialized in fighting combat in snowy Arctic places?
Yeah, we do. We have the Mountain Warfare Training Center.
You have that though.
Yes.
So why can't you run?
I have been there. I was stationed there for 3 years, and I ran a PFT in negative 20-degree weather where I had icicles on my eyelids. And I will tell you, it is miserable. But we're also at 6,000 feet elevation, so I got a waiver. I got a minute and a half off my PFT time because of the lack of oxygen in the air, which was outstanding. But I've done it, and I can do it. And we'll see. We'll see come December where we're at, and if I have the ability to do something, maybe I'll GoPro myself running by myself through the woods and the trails of Quantico, doing a marathon.
That'd be cool. I'd like to do that.
Have you done a marathon before?
No. I think I've never run more than 10 miles at a given time. I did help a friend of mine. He was doing like a super ultra run from the border of Virginia, North Carolina down to the South Carolina, North Carolina border. And I was on the trail with him for a day or two.
Is that where you were just part of his crew, so you'd run with him for a certain amount of time?
Well,
is that how that works?
He's kind of by himself, and he didn't have a crew, and all the other runners had a crew. They had like a van that would follow him, and they had a guy that would hand them snacks and stuff like that. And he didn't have anybody like that. It was his first time ever doing it. And his wife and my wife were good friends, and she was like, hey, he's going to be passing through this area. You should go run with him. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And then 10 miles later, I was like, this is
terrible.
You're an idiot. What are you doing? You know? But he was really good at it. He finished the race ahead of time. There's a time limit, and if you don't finish in that time limit, you're disqualified. But he beat the time limit, and it was his first time ever doing it, and it was great.
Cool.
He loves running. He's a runner. So.
Is he on the leaderboard?
And he's not. I don't know if he's even on. I don't know if he's on the Charity Miles team yet.
That seems like a good person.
I'm trying. We'll see.
Yeah. So if you could get people to hand you their phone, they'd probably do it.
And it's free, and you can. Yeah. From what Steve was saying, you can have all of your running apps, provided you have a phone that can handle what I'm not a tech guy, like that can handle having multiple apps going. So it doesn't hurt you at all to do this. Just download the app, and it'll even count your steps if you have a step counter on your phone. So
on your watch, Apple Watch, Garmin watch.
Yeah, you don't even know.
It does not work with Fitbits though.
No.
The app, there's some bugs on it. I've heard it's been challenging for some folks, but work through that. It's for a good cause, and you're not coming out of pocket for anything. So just add the app and get going.
Yeah, and if you get shorted miles, which it can short your miles, you know what? That's 3 cents we didn't have before,
That's
or
true.
whatever.
Right.
So,
But at least you're there putting in miles for the 3 cents.
And it's going towards St. Jude.
Yeah.
We're not going to stop talking until pediatric cancer has been defeated. So get off your butts and start walking. But
it'd be a really
cool
if we could message our team. We have 125 people. Just to everybody get in there. Yeah, great job. Because positivity builds positivity.
It does.
And while for myself, I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, God, you worthless. You're just ugly, worthless, flabby, sack.
You're less flabby today than you were a year ago. So you're coming.
This is why we run in front of mirrors at Genesis, so he can hate himself the whole time.
He does it on purpose, too.
I'll
go to the bathroom and we'll move. Puts
right in front of the mirror.
I'm like, oh, you bastard.
There it is. Stare him down right in the face. That guy.
And then Constance telling me in my ear, run. And now, I know, I'm committed to listening to Constance. That's the only thing that I'm committed to doing right now. So I don't run every day. So when I do try to log at least 6 miles a day and 10 miles a couple days a week, usually minimum of a 5K run, and then we'll crank it up.
Yes.
So
try and hit everything and keep it moving, keep it fluid, and just get after it any way that we can.
And then we do a circuit afterwards, which is like kettlebells,
weights,
plates,
heavy balls,
moving fast,
abdominal work to try and keep the core tight.
Well, so since we've got you here, let's transition. I've got thoughts.
Yeah.
We've got an awesome guest today. Here. So accountability partner. What does accountability mean to you? Like how do you hold this cat accountable? Like
I think to start, accountability, that's a real big thing in the Marine Corps. Everybody's held accountable for everything. In the long run of things, in the grand scheme of things, lives are at stake, and accountability is really key and making sure that you can bring your Marines home at the end of the day, whether you're overseas in combat or not. Marines, unfortunately, tragedy happens and we die in boating accidents, motorcycle accidents, things like that. So you do have to have accountability because there are lives at stake, and you want to make sure that kids come home safe, go back home to their families, their moms and dads, things like that. So accountability is really a huge part of my life as a Marine, and I do my best to make it a huge part in everything else that I do. Unfortunately, I am human, I'm not perfect, and I do go by the wayside sometimes. And there are definitely times where I'm tired or I just don't want to do it, and I tell myself, like, tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. And I do need to get better at that. And I think doing this with Nolan has certainly helped me to hold myself more accountable at times. And because I'm not going to let him down, and I'm not going to let Grit down, and I don't want to let everyone else down, and I do tell myself, well, I need to be here, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. So I think it's not so much that I'm holding him accountable. He's actually holding me accountable. On Thursday, who texted who in the morning?
Yeah, I was shocked that you overslept.
I don't know what happened. My alarm must have not gone off, or I slept through it, or I hit stop or a snooze or something, and I got a text message that I woke up to, and he was like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And I was like,
"Are you okay?"
I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now.
You were okay.
Yeah,
everything going okay.
Yeah, and so he's holding me accountable, and I love it because I need it. I need it just as much as I think everybody else does.
And Saturday morning, you did the same to me.
Yep.
Because
I told him, I said, "Are we waking up at 6:30 to go to the gym at 7?" And he said, "Yep." And then 7 o'clock rolled around, and I was like, "Where are you doing, bud? Are you okay?" And he said, "Yep, I'm on my way."
Yeah, we had a dinner party the night before.
Yep.
And extra stuff. Yeah.
Extracurriculars.
Extra stuff. We had fun.
Well, good.
So.
But yeah, accountability is a big part of, I think, everything that I try to do. At least I try and make it try and hold myself accountable. But it's easier when you have someone to say, "Hey, you ugly thing, get your fat butt in the gym."
Yeah, you can't do that if you're ultra sensitive. You can't have partners like us.
No. I think we do compete with each other.
Yeah.
It's pseudo, not openly. We're not going to talk trash to each other. If anything, it's like, "Hey man, great job. Hey, we're doing great. Keep it up," things like that. But I think we do compete on a subconscious level.
Ultimately, you're a soldier, and you have this different.
Easy on that garbage.
Okay. Ultimately, though, you're
Marine.
I'm not.
Soldiers are in the Army.
Really?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I learned that. I did not know.
Airmen
Did
are
you
in
know
the Air
that?
Force. Sailors are in the Navy.
You knew that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, guess I'm a dumbass. Okay, you're a Marine.
Yeah.
So you have a different mentality than most regular people. And maybe you had that going into the Marine Corps. You probably didn't, and then the Marine Corps trained you into that.
Marine Corps definitely helped.
And so you have a different discipline about you that most people can't understand. Now, the last 2 years, I've been reading, Goggins' book, Jocko's books, Dak. What's Dak's last name? Dakota Meyer.
Into the Fire.
Yeah. So
it's a great book.
Mattis's books.
Chaos.
Just because I wanted to submerge myself in that mentality, and I even told. I read so many different military books and war stories. I said, if I could have a do-over, I'd join one of the branches of I don't know if it'd be Air Force or
so
Marines.
Pause there. So this is what I'm thinking as I'm hearing all of this. I go back to what we were talking about in the first segment with a magic pill. I joined the Marines, but you can learn from what Marines do.
Right.
I'm guessing, I'm not a Marine, but you wake up in the morning at a certain time, the first order of business is fix your bed. Make it nice and neat and tidy. You can do that, Nolan. You don't need to go to the Marine Corps to wake up when your alarm goes off and fix your bed the right way. And then you get up and you eat the right way. And you put your clothes on the right way. And everything. Yep. Was it John Wooden? His whole, the first practice with his guys at UCLA, he taught them how to put their socks on the right way. Because everything matters. We don't need to join I get what you're saying. Yes, that discipline, having an accountability partner because there are lives at stake.
Right.
But there's not a magic pill. It's just doing those little things right and taking care of your immediate chaos. Yep. And then you can build out a little bit to help someone else with their chaos. And then that's how it works, I think.
Yeah.
Am I off on that?
No, not at all. You can look up Admiral McRaven. He did a UT commencement speech.
Got that one.
And his top 10 to things to do to become a Navy SEAL. And number 1 is make your bed.
Make your bed.
It's
not
something
hard
simple.
To do that.
If you have enough discipline in the morning to wake up, make your bed, then you have enough discipline to do the small things, which turn into the big things. And it's like in the Marine Corps, we shave every day. Now, do we shave for gas masks? Yeah, in a way we do because you have to create that tight seal so that you don't choke on mustard gas and stuff like that. But it's not strictly because of gas masks. It's the discipline. Mm-hmm. If you're willing to wake up and shave your face every day, you're willing to do the small things, which turn into big things, which keep you accountable and responsible for what you need to do.
I learned something I didn't know was all shaving, Dave.
It's a discipline.
It's a discipline, for sure.
And I've been in Iraq where we were driving around in mop suits in 120-degree weather with our gas masks on our hip, and it was hot and it was crazy, and nobody wanted to do it, and you're tired, and we didn't have air conditioners, and we were thinking we were smart, and we were putting chickens on the hood of our trucks, and we're like, well, if the chicken dies, then it's a gas attack. Put your gas mask on. Well, the chicken would die because it's on the hood of a Humvee that's 150 degrees. We're cooking this thing.
Good chicken though for lunch.
But every day, you don't need shaving cream and water to shave because you're sweating to death, and but that's the thing. You wake up every day, you shave your face, you're dirty, you're tired, you're messy, but you got to do it.
You still do it?
Every day.
Wow.
Every day.
And that's what I'm saying. There's no magic pill. You can't take it's being accountable to yourself and doing the little things right.
Yeah.
And telling working with kids, you coach together and do working with young people. They all want to know how can they go play college football? How can they go play in the league? How can they just go become a doctor someday?
Right.
It's very simple, except for it's hard.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Put in the work. Put in hard work, and that's how you do it.
Every day.
It's not
for a long
fun.
time.
It's not hard work. It's not fun.
A lot of the times I like to tell our junior Marines in the Marine Corps, it's doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
That's true too.
That's when it really counts. If no one's gonna give you that attaboy pat on the back, no one's gonna give you a medal for it, but you're still doing the right thing. That's what really matters in the Marine Corps, and I think in life too. You don't need recognition for everything you do.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when you finally do get recognized for doing something extraordinary, it means something too. It's like the opposite of the participation trophy generation. I look back at the few times in life where I've done something and somebody's noticed it. It does feel good, but like you're saying, it took a lot of getting up in the morning and making your bed, or whatever your analogy is for that, to get to that point where you do something big that's worth noting. And it's not fun to wake up and shave every day. I need to shave.
My wife likes
Invest in a good electric razor if you're going to shave every day.
My wife likes this. That's why I hate it. And she complains about the sink being dirty.
Yeah, that's the hairs. Yeah, that's
and
true.
I'm like, well, you like this.
That's step 2. If you shave every morning, you got to clean the sink. You got to clean the bathroom. The head, as we call it in the Marine Corps, that's a Navy term right there. But that's part of it. You got to clean your razor, clean your tooth, clean your teeth, brush your teeth, clean your toothbrush. Did you brush your teeth this morning?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. As did I, but this coffee is not helping.
No.
Yeah, I don't get a little fur never hurt me.
I shave her teeth after the podcast. That's a fun image.
Yeah, no, I think that's what it is. So I would just say, lucky that we got a lot in common, and we hadn't gone into this. What really kind of brought it all together was, so one of my jobs for our football team was to bring in guest speakers, and I asked Matthew to come speak, and
the G version.
Right, the
G version.
And he came in on Thursday, the day before the game, and talked to the kids. He was dressed in his, I guess, do they call them blues?
It was my blues uniform, because I was wearing my blue trousers, short sleeves, so it's the blue deltas with my white cover.
Okay. So he's wearing his blue deltas with his white cover. I say that right?
You did.
All right. And we came in, and I wasn't for sure what he was going to say to the kids. I wanted him to talk about the stuff we're talking about: discipline, accountability, why,
family, togetherness.
And he talked about all that and the bonds of brotherhood, and kind of explaining what sacrifice is like. But he talked about sacrificing for your teammates and your brother next to you, and you need to do that. It is your job to do that, because there's somebody that you don't know that is doing that on a whole different level, protecting you from the dangers that exist, that you don't know exist, that are ready to kill you just because you're an American.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't like you for that simple reason.
Yep.
You could be the greatest person on earth, care about their cause, but they still want you dead because you're an American. And it was very colorful and very beautiful. I'll use that in a football sense. It was very colorful and beautiful. And the kids got jacked up, and I think it really motivated us for that week.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave this speech, the pregame speech,
Can we
the
hear
night
it?
before, and he's got it. Yes,
I wish we would have recorded
I
it, to be
know.
honest.
Give us a
We're
story.
not Devin. We didn't let
make it
Devin in the locker room.
PG-13. Devin, can we
We're
do
gonna-
PG-13? I mean, like, can we
You let me in. You told me I couldn't record.
Right, because there might be
Yeah.
naked kids in there. That's
Yeah.
why.
I mean, to the best of my recollection, it was my first time giving a pregame speech to a group of kids, and I was jacked. I think my heart rate was through the roof, and I had kind of planned out like what I was gonna say, and I wanted to stick to the script as best I could. But to the best of my recollection, we were talking about the togetherness of the team in the homecoming spirit of the game, and playing for each other, not necessarily for the coaches, but playing for the guy next to you. And one of the big things that I like to live by, if I ever have doubt in my life, now I'm not a very religious person, and I don't like to push religion on people, and if everybody has their own religious preference, I mean, that's great, good on you. Praise Allah or Jesus Christ or Buddha or whatever you do. And that's great, and I support that all a bit. But I was raised Catholic, growing up, and Isaiah 6:8 really sticks to me, and it goes a little like, and then I heard the voice of the Lord, and He said, "Whom shall I send? Who will go for me?" And then I said, "Here am I, send me." And whenever there's a doubt in my life about something that's going on, I think that to myself, and it really bolsters my confidence of, send me. This is what I'm here for. This is my purpose in life, and this is what I'm going to do. So I'm volunteering for this, and I will go forward and send me. And in the heat of the moment in the locker room, I was giving it to the kids, and they were loving it. And then I came down with "send me," and I was screaming it at them, and you could just see something came over on their faces, and it just Buck looked like he was going to run through a brick wall. I think they were fired up, they were amped up, and we ended up scoring 49 points in a half that game. So, but yeah, I mean, it's what I like to live by. There's times in combat where you're down, you're depressed, you're tired, you're hungry, you're worn out, you feel like nothing's going your way. Maybe you lost a buddy a week ago, but you got to get up and you got to get at it and go on patrol and do what needs to be done. And you have to remind yourself, send me here. Like, we need, who's going to go? Who's going to step up? And in football, who's going to make that big play? Who's going to make that fourth down stop that needs to be made? Who's going to make that catch or make that run for that touchdown to win the game?
Yeah.
And I've kind of taken that mentality with me. Like on Friday, snow day,
Mm-hmm.
we went and worked out anyway, early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, we were the only two people in the gym.
I saw that picture. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And we finished the workout. And I was tired, and I wasn't going to do the lifting portion of it. But then I got that text message from Ari, where the young man, Wyatt, had passed away.
Yeah.
He lost his fight to cancer. And then I was just like, I was crying, but you couldn't tell because I was so sweaty. And I said, nope, gotta finish it.
Yeah.
Send me.
We're doing it.
Let's hashtag our workouts or runs with "send me" this week.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be accountable.
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
honestly,
let's do that.
honestly, "send me" is the perfect mantra for accountability because
Mhm.
it's very easy to say, "Oh, no one will handle that, Matthew.
Yeah.
You got it. No. It's my job.
Yep.
I'm taking care of this.
Mhm.
Send me.
Mhm.
I'm going to lift the weight. I'm going to run. I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to read
Right.
a book. I'm going to get out of bed, get out of the rack. So send me. Let's
Yep.
go.
Let's
Hashtag send me.
on the workouts.
You want to take another break and we'll get back to business?
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Hey, we'll be back in a minute.
Yes.
Send me.
All right. Also, so you had the break for that'll go for YouTube. Now outro this whole thing because then there's a certain amount of things for Apple Music and Spotify that we can upload. So I'll upload this whole thing as a segment, the first part and the second part, because it's still under an hour.
Okay.
So now outro him.
So do you want me to just say,
That's our show for today.
okay. And it's Gant, right?
Sure.
Matthew Gant. Okay, I just
Yep.
want to make sure. Okay.
Yep.
And we'll go our social media handles. Do we have time?
No, we have 50 seconds.
Go, should we just stop and restart?
No, just go on this
Okay.
one. Just
Okay.
outro it.
All right. Well, hey, that was this week's show, the TeamGrit podcast. Thank you so much. We had Matthew Gant this
Thank you
week.
for having me. Appreciate it.
We will link all of our social media. Do you want to? Where can people find you if they want to learn more about
I'm on Instagram. Nolan's been tagging me. I don't really have
Okay.
a social media footprint, so if
Man Mosa.
Man
Something.
Manmosa
Manmosa.
42.
you? Dig it.
Man Mosa 42. And stay tuned for our show later this week. Jacqueline Kazir and Chris Kazir of the Team Blake Foundation doing some great work for the residents of Topeka, Lawrence, Kansas City, and the rest of the state of Kansas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.